In Jewish studies, rather than in philosophy, Jewish studies departments who'll teach Jewish thought, Jewish literature, Jewish intellectual history, they'll take a figure like Maimonides and they'll be asking questions that are historical, sociological, anthropological. Who was he? What influenced him? Why did he say the things he did? Those things are important and interesting to know. Or they'll take the Talmud and they'll say, oh, we recognize here there are multiple layers of text. How did this line get here? How did that line get there? Who wrote this bit? Who wrote that bit? What influenced them? Again, important questions. But the philosopher wants to know, are these ideas any good? Right? And do they stand up to contemporary criticism? And sometimes the philosopher, I think, is entitled to view the texts that he or she reads as a living tradition. And therefore, the living to look at a text as a living tradition says, well, Maimonides might have meant X by these words, but reading those words today, given all of the things that have happened in science and philosophy since the death of Maimonides, gosh, wouldn't it be interesting to retool those words and give them a slightly new meaning? Not saying this is what Maimonides meant, but advocating for them today. I worry that we can sometimes turn living thinkers into museum exhibits, and philosophy is entitled, I think, to a small degree of ahistoricity. So I'm going to bring Maimonides into conversation with Descartes, and you might think that's tremendously anachronistic, but hold on a second, we're not completely interested in the history of Descartes and Maimonides, we're also interested in the truth. You know, what is the real nature of the world and the mind and the body and these sorts of questions that Maimonides and Descartes might be able to debate together. So it's really important to be historically aware for the reasons I said, but we also need to make sure that philosophy is not history, right? And if you go to university to study Jewish studies, I think you're entitled to expect that you won't just be taught history. You'll also be asking questions such as, how should somebody committed to continuing a Jewish identity, or how should somebody committed to continuing in Jewish religious practice view the world today, which is not a historical question.